Everybody needs a little more Mayo. Healthy living for your life with Mayo. It's not about dieting, it's about living. All you need is just a little more Mayo. Healthy living for your life with Mayo. It's not about dieting, it's about living. The world needs more Mayo.
Hi everybody, how you doing? It's Karen Mayo, and today we are going to be making some crispy cauliflower, and it's one of my recipes in the Mindful Eating book. So if you go to page 125 in the book, it's week 1 through 4 snacks. Again, so I love to make stuff that's easy and quick and a couple of ingredients. And these are so delicious and they're so easy to make. So we're going to do this. All right, so you take a head of cauliflower and then you just basically cut it up into the little, cauliflower. What do they call them? I know who would know. Hey, Oscar.
Hello.
Hey. How you doing?
Good, good. How are you? I want to know
Good.
how you're going to make cauliflower crispy. That's going to be a trick right there.
Oh no, it's going to be so delicious. So when you're cutting cauliflower, like what do they call these things?
I call them little albino trees. Now, what do normal people call them? I guess florets.
Florets, that's it. Florets. I see you got the memo today.
Which one?
The shirt. Nice.
Today is Cooking with Karen and Red Day.
Nice. So what's your favorite way to make cauliflower?
My favorite way to make you can do so much with cauliflower. I like to rice it.
Yeah.
Just put it through the ricing part of the food processor and use it instead of actual rice. It mimics
so that's really easy to make. So and again, it's only a couple of ingredients, right?
Right. If you do it right, it's very easy. If you do it wrong, there's a 2-hour cleanup of the kitchen. Looks like a snowstorm.
That's true. And then you can also make I like to do cauliflower mash.
Mm-hmm.
Mix that up. But cauliflower is really healthy. It's part of that cruciferous family, the cabbage family. So it's really high in antioxidants, and it's really good for our intestinal tract. And I don't know, I love it. I think it's delicious.
You can
Have
use
you
it
ever
in
had cauliflower steak?
No, but what did I do? I used to make a roasted cauliflower. I haven't made it. I need to make it again. Just take the whole cauliflower head and you roast it, and I would put a pepper puree on it.
Whoa, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I haven't made that in a while. I just remembered. So that was one of the easiest way to make cauliflower, because you don't need to really do anything other than bake it and then put that puree of fresh pepper on it and cook that puppy up, and then you have it's a great side dish.
Yeah, cauliflower is just amazing. And you know what? There's so much nutritional value in cauliflower that, and you don't have to. You don't have to be like a brain surgeon to figure out how to cook it. You just cut it up And like I said, it's just a matter of, I always put salt and pepper on pretty much everything. No, not a ton, but cracked pepper.
Fresh,
and then a
freshly
little bit of
cracked
salt.
pepper.
Again, I'm using the smoked salt. I just love that way it tastes. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. The oven's at 425, and I'm going to put it in for 20 minutes, and you'll see how crispy it comes out when it comes out, but it's so delicious. And those are great for snacks, like at nighttime, or actually whenever. I mean, once you taste it just like that, it's going to be one of your favorite snacks, I think. I mean, I think it's delicious. And, you can add anything to it. So you can add like turmeric, you can add cinnamon to it, different spices. Oh, even cumin, just to give it a little extra taste. It's kind of like popcorn, it's
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's almost like tofu that it'll just take on whatever flavor and shape that you want to put it through.
Right. And you know what too? Cauliflower is part of the rainbow. It's like one of those white foods. So in my book, Mindful Eating, page 39, I talk about a rainbow of foods. And the white foods are helpful for our heart, which we just kind of talked about. And it helps to prevent chronic illnesses. So, even substituting mushrooms, for meat, is a delicious alternative as well. So my second dish I'm going to make today is going to be red beets, arugula, with some goat cheese, red onion, and walnuts.
Love walnuts.
So this is really easy too, and it's it's healthy, it's easy. The only thing that you have to do is really is cook the beets. You put them, you roast them. You can roast them in the oven. And then what happens is when you pull them back out, you can actually, the beet will slide right off the outer shell. So, this together.
Yeah, I don't think I've very rarely ever cooked beets. My beets go into the juicer, and from the juicer it goes into an ice cube tray, and from the ice cube tray it goes into a Ziploc. So I always have the beet juice to put in a smoothie and not have to go through the actual juicing process at the moment, which is another 4 hours of cleanup because it looks like a mass murder with beet juice.
No, I know. Yeah, and with red beets, you have to be careful because they do stain. So you've got to be careful where you get all of this stuff, the red beet juice especially. And actually, speaking of the staining with red beets, you can actually color if you wanted to, you could color your hair with red beets.
You hear that, Phil? Next show. Here.
We're gonna try it, Oscar. We'll give you some highlights or lowlights. Okay. Oh, you know what we could do too? We could do carrots. So we do carrots and red beets.
Oh yeah, that'll look good. Next carnival, I will be.
Okay, so the first thing is obviously arugula. So these are our greens. Our greens are amazing for cleansing our blood, adding new red blood cells, and oxygenating our blood as well. So obviously just two handfuls of, of everything, any kind of green you put on your plate, 2 handfuls is the perfect amount. And then I'm going to do the red beets last just because they're a little messy, but I'll take my knife.
Now, is it true that chlorophyll and hemoglobin are just one atom difference?
Yes. So, okay. So you remember back in school when we learned about the veins in the leaves and stuff, and they showed us like, of course, they're veins, right? So the veins help our veins. It's almost like the trees breathe oxygen. They let out oxygen, and obviously we let out carbon dioxide. So it's kind of like that. The serendipity, of it. But yeah, so all the veins in the leaves, the chlorophyll, are so good for our blood that it helps oxygenate the blood, right? So if you think, you're feeling a little sluggish, or if you just want some more energy, liquid chlorophyll is great just to put in your water. I mean, I have it here. So if I'm not taking, so I take all kinds of different greens. So I'll take chlorella, I'll take spirulina, and then liquid chlorophyll. Let me just show you what that looks like. So
I have it. Yeah, I have a bottle of it in the kitchen. That's another thing that'll stain like crazy.
yes, it will. And if you put too much in your water, your teeth will turn green.
Oh, good. I'm gonna work on green teeth and red hair for the next segment.
So it was real. I shouldn't laugh about it, but it is kind of funny. I had a friend, and I told him about the chlorophyll. So he just was like, "Oh, okay, I'll just get it." I'm like, "Before you get it, make sure you call me and let me know that you got it, because I want to tell you about it." Well, he didn't let me know, so he calls me up, or he sends me this picture. His teeth are all green. I go, "What happened?" I go, "You didn't put that in your mouth, did you?" He's like, "No, I put it in my water, but you didn't tell me how much." I go, "Well, what does it say on the bottle?"
When all else fails, read instructions.
Yeah, read the instructions. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So yes, definitely don't put that much in. And not only that, but you want to see like what kind of earthy taste is good for you. So, because when you squeeze the whole thing in, you're going to get some earth.
Well,
But
that's what I feel
like
about beets. Beets just taste like dirt in a good way, but
oh, I know, I love beets. Beets are amazing.
they're very earthy.
Amazing. Yeah, so I mean, this is so easy. And right now beets are in season, so I mean, you can find them anywhere. And if you don't like to cook them, you can always get them. They have them at Whole Foods already made up, or they have people, you know, they have places that already make them. So just make sure you get red beets in your body, though. Red beets are really great for lowering blood pressure, and also widening those blood vessels. So that's a great way to add more oxygen into your body, into the blood.
And
So I think
if you
that's
want to throw more color in, there are golden beets. So
oh yes,
different
golden
fight
beets
on
are
the
amazing too. I love golden beets. All right, I'm gonna do this. But okay, so our next, and this is, you know, we talked about bulk before, and you know, I do what I say I do. So, you know, getting nuts in bulk and putting them in mason jars, you know, that's a great way to keep them fresh. And then also, you know, you don't have to have all of that plastic containers everywhere. So, and then I love goat cheese, and goat cheese is so much healthier than cow's cheese, and our body actually digests it a lot easier. So I just love putting a couple medallions on. I mean, just goat cheese is so amazing. And you know what? It comes in different forms, just like cow's cheese does. So they're soft, and they have goat brie. They have hard cheeses too, where you can you know, shave it, and it's just so delicious. And it has that amazing again, it's a little earthy because it's, you know, it's goat, but it's just, I absolutely love goat cheese. And you don't miss the cow's cheese at all. I don't anyway. Just because the cow's cheese is, you know, it's full of you know, allergens that people, you know, might not, you know, their digestive tract might be a little allergic to. So, you know, digestive upset, even sinus and headaches,
yep,
you know, ear infections, sinus infections, they're all related to dairy.
your body starts to fight off the dairy with mucus buildup. There are a lot of people that said their sinus problems have cleared up when they stopped using cow milk and cow cheese. So all that cow product, for some reason, a lot of people, it brings on allergens, and your body's fighting it off.
Yeah, you know what too? You know, I was talking about this with someone else earlier today, one of my clients, and Okay, so, and so this is pretty much done. I mean, look how beautiful that is.
That's a rainbow of phytonutrients there.
It is. It is. And so I was talking with one of my clients earlier, and we were talking about how she wanted to have an alternative for her creamer. She goes, what is the difference between, you know, the creamer and oat milk? You know, and I was like, well, you know, cow's milk, they aren't from, you know, one happy cow. We all kind of want to believe that because we do see the marketing and stuff on TV, but unfortunately, it's not how it is. So you don't really know what's happening with 300 or 3 million cows all together.
Well,
you know,
there's a bunch of reasons I don't drink cow's milk. There's no such thing as a happy cow, simply because cows don't lactate just for the hell of it. They lactate because they've given birth to a calf.
Right.
So what people don't realize is the calves are taken away when they're born, and the cows grieve over their lost child. So there's no such thing as a happy cow giving milk.
Right. It's true. Well, I actually did something really, I forgot to set the timer. So
I'm looking at 16 minutes from when you put it in.
awesome. You know what? That's why you're here. I just, you know, that's amazing.
That's me.
You're amazing.
A hairy headed timer. That's me.
That's awesome. Thank you. So the 30-day program, and let's talk about, I guess, my book. So you can find my book, Mindful Eating. It's my first book. You can find it on Amazon.com. You can go onto my website, KarenMayo.com, and go ahead and push buy now, and you'll be able to purchase that. I also have 2 other books that are out. You could check that out on my website as well. So there's a 30-day program in here.
Look at this. The green from your book is now transparent on my screen.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Yeah. So that's the second book, The Roots of Leadership. It's a journal. It's really great. It gets you thinking outside of you, and thinking about how you can impact other people. So that's a really great book, actually. And I was a co-author on that. But this one it's a 30-day program. There's journal pages in here. There's 5 weeks of recipes. So I'm putting together a video series based on mindful eating, and you will have the first 10 days for free, and then at some point, if you're interested in moving past the 10 days, my marketing department, was pushing me to make a decision on what I wanted to charge. So if you decide to join us or decide to go past the 10 days, it's going to be $15 a month, and you have so much access to everything, from going on trips. I'm certified in brain health, so I was at Dr. Daniel Amen and Amen Clinics yesterday. You'll have access to my brain health certification, like everything I know about the brain, how to heal it, going from brain injuries to healing your brain. So there's a lot of content. I'm also certified in hormone health, so we'll deep dive into hormone health, if you feel a little unbalanced, and how to feel better fast. Certified in gut brain connection. So a lot of that I'll be talking about in the mindful eating book, because it is important that your gut and your brain are healthy, because if your gut and your brain aren't healthy, you're not healthy.
I think I heard Dr. Gundry say once, the path to health is paved with good intestines.
Nice. Awesome. So that reminds me of even the father of medicine, Hippocrates. So he said the disease also starts in your gut. So you got to keep that gut healthy. And speaking of that, we are going to check on the cauliflower.
Check on those.
Uh-oh. Hang on. Gotta cut it.
Did you coat them with olive oil? I forgot to.
I did,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, you did.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a nice Breville air fryer, full-sized oven, which it is so much fun to make food in that.
So tell me how so you make these crispy?
No, I've made what is that? Eggplant bacon in the air
You
fryer.
did?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I also like to take the trout skin and turn it into a big potato chip by running it up at 480 for about a minute and a half, and it just
No
crisps
kidding.
it. Oh, it is so good. I
I
play
gotta
with
get
it.
one of those.
Yeah,
Whoa, that sounds amazing.
yeah,
Especially when you make homemade potato chips. Whoa, that's awesome.
absolutely. Yeah, I use the mandolin and the ruffle cut, the ridge cut. So I
Yeah.
run it one way and then turn it 90 degrees and run it again. So I get the waffle cut and then air fry those puppies. Oh, so good.
Wow.
And so my regular gas oven is now just a place that I put pots and pans in.
Well, that's what I do when this is empty. Well, when I'm not cooking. So I'm gonna put it in for 5 more minutes.
And what temperature did you
5 more
put it in?
minutes.
What's the temperature on that?
425.
Okay.
425. Yeah, for about 5 more minutes. Okay, so back to the 30-day program. So again, much as I would love to give it away for free, I am giving the 10 days for free. I've had a ton of education, and I just, I want to be able to help people feel better and to do it easy. I mean, this is easy cooking. A lot of the recipes in here are pretty easy. Just going through them and making sure your pantry is full of, items that need to be cooked, like brown rice or quinoa ahead of time. But that's my program. I'm putting it on my website as well, so you'll have more details on that. And then you can actually opt in for my journal pages. And the journal pages, we're going to deep dive into all of those journal pages. And I just want you to be open, you're going to have an eye-opening experience, but also just be open to learning new things, even if you think you know it, because I'll, provide the research and show you where I got all of my information from. But
See, what I like about your program, it's healthy eating and it's mindful eating, and you know why you're eating what you're eating, and you're also not depriving anyone of anything, because a lot of quote unquote diets, I don't like diet because the first word in diet is die, so that's already out of my vocabulary. It's I'm changing my food regimen. There are other ways to talk about it, but your approach to good health is substitute better and easier items to cook than grabbing a bag of potato chips or a Twinkie or something just because you haven't planned ahead. I mean, you're doing this dish now with the cauliflower. You don't have to eat it right now.
Yeah.
Right? You can make a huge batch, put it in the refrigerator, throw it in the toaster oven for 5 minutes and re-crisp everything.
Yeah.
And while you're out doing, whatever it takes for 5 minutes, you have a healthy, really good something to eat that
A
won't,
snack.
right?
Yeah.
And it won't.
So with cooking it like this, it won't get mushy, so it'll still stay crunchy for a little while. I mean, you're going to eat this within 24, 48 hours. So it's going to stay crispy, and it's just really great. And then I'm going to put some hot pepper flakes because I like that extra heat on it. But getting back to so as I always say, it's not about dieting, it's about living. And with my program, it's the 80-20 rule. So you eat well 80% of the time, and then the other 20%, we're a little bit more relaxed, because I believe people have to eat, people have to live, people have to eat, so I don't like depriving my clients or anybody of food. But what I want you to realize is that when you're eating, I want you to enjoy it, And then also just just remember to like, how is your body feeling? Like while after you've eaten what you've eaten, maybe you've had something that, like I think on St. Patrick's Day, actually, I had some fish and chips, and whatever the fish was cooked with, because it was deep fried, and I was thinking, oh, you know what, I eat really well. I can afford myself to just have a meal, a treat that I love, like fish and chips. But you know what, something was up with the oil. So I realized that, and so now I know that why I wasn't feeling well was because of what I ate. And so I am a product of who I am. So what I'm trying to tell you is pay attention to what you're eating, because obviously what you're eating agrees or disagrees. So like I said, I do walk my talk, and I don't sugarcoat anything. So
yeah, because sugar's bad for you anyway.
Yeah, sugar is bad for you.
Well, I believe I told you before that I was at work and somebody was ordering fast food fries, which I hadn't had in years. And it just sounded so good. I'm like, oh, get a large one. This way we can share it. And I literally grabbed 3 fries, took about 4 bites, and this horrible rancid oil taste and feel hit the back of my throat. I could not swallow those fries. And it literally took me most of the day to get rid of that taste from the back of my throat. My body is like, no, we do. And I used to eat 2 servings of that with a burger and a bunch of, ketchup.
So yeah, so when you
red
start
sugar.
eating healthier, actually, when you start adding greens into your diet, that sensation that you're talking about, when you start cleaning up your body, that will happen. But a great way to start, if you want to start to clean up your body, is to eat greens. So eat your salads, take the chlorella, take the spirulina, learn about it first. Please go see your health professional, because I'm not a doctor. I do have many great certifications and diplomas, but I'm definitely not a doctor. But I do know the science behind food. And that actually is I love that. It's my drive. I love talking about food. I just love to know this, like I love the science behind food and what happens in our bodies. And I think that's what gets me all juiced up all the time, so no pun intended. But that energy that I have is just because the science behind what you're putting in your mouth and your body is wonderful. So let me check on that.
We can take a deep dive on that also, just with your gut flora. And
yes,
you find out that your craving for sugar and your craving for bad food is actually the bad gut flora telling your brain that's what I want. It's like there's a drug addict in your intestinal system that is telling you what you should do. So again, when you clean that up, and your body will reject stuff that is not good for you, just because what's the saying? Nothing tastes as good as healthy feels.
That's
and
true.
You'll get an instant
so
feedback
true.
if you eat something that. Now, when I first started, I'm from Argentina, and my diet was meat and bread.
Mhm.
And then as a vegetable, we'd have a potato, meat and bread. So greens was never in my diet. And when I decided I'm going to get healthier and start eating salads, I literally could not digest salad because I
Really?
did not have the gut flora that would break down salads.
Right. Okay.
So it actually took time of eating greens for my gut flora to develop the green digesting bugs.
Wow. That's pretty interesting. I learned something new today. Oscar, thank you.
I mean, literally did not eat greens at all, ever.
Well, that makes sense, right? Because so when you go to different places, right? So you get when you travel, right? So you travel to different places and you start eating the foods and wherever you are, that's where you develop your bugs from, your good bugs. So that's really interesting. I love that. And you should knowing your good bugs. But also when you have a lot of bad bugs, like your body is being overrun by, let's say, yeast, both men and women have yeast, and it's a condition. We all have it. We all have yeast, but you can get overgrown with yeast. So if you're craving sugars, or if you're craving food and such as like pasta or rice, you can almost be certain, especially if you're craving sugar, that you have yeast, overgrowth of yeast.
I think it's candidiasis or something like that.
Exactly.
That is an
Yeah,
overgrowth.
and there's ways you can tell, like your fingernails is a way to tell. Your toenails is another way to tell that if they're like rigid and look almost like grainy. There's definitely, you can kind of know that that person has a yeast overgrowth. And there's a lot of things you can do, like so going back to the greens part, right? Eating greens, drinking greens, liquid chlorophyll, eating, spinach, kale, whatever, juice it. That will start helping with the yeast overgrowth.
Yeah,
So
the way I figured it also, doing the reverse. Now, I didn't have the gut flora. Oh, that looks great.
doesn't that look awesome?
Throw some pepper, what do you call that? Some red pepper sauce on that, and we got a deal.
Yeah. You could throw some hot sauce on that.
I don't do hot sauce, but I will do mild, very tasty. I like Cholula hot sauce because it's flavorful and spicy, but not your eyeballs sweating type of hot.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
It was a hot pepper flakes.
It's a pepper. See, I tell you, it's not good for you. Actually,
it's
I
amazing.
know.
It's boosting that metabolism.
Capsaicin is a fantastic gut cleaner, and
Yep.
yeah, but talking about candidiasis might also lead to leaky gut, and
Yes.
it's just this whole domino effect of eating the wrong food, and then you're like, why do I have brain fog? Why do my joints hurt? Why can't I get up in the morning? You're poisoned.
Yeah.
You basically poisoned your system, and now your body's saying, hey, my joints hurt, and we're just going to keep adding all these symptoms until you wake up and start feeding me right.
Right, and so that goes back to that brain gut,
The
connection.
brain gut connection. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely really important to keep that gut under control.
The second brain.
Yeah, so exactly, with your good and bad bacteria. And if something, like a probiotic is a good helper if you happen to have your bad bacteria is a little out of control or a lot of out of control. So you can always contact me. You can go to my website, KarenMayo.com. I have a contact button. You can go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble, or go to my website. You can purchase it. There's a lot of great stuff in here. I have a lot of people tell me that they carry this in their car, and when they're going to the grocery store, they'll pick out, a recipe and use it that way. But it's really easy. It's an easy read. I get a lot of great comments, and a lot of people tell me how much they use it as a resource. So
let us know when you're going to be on the golf course, and put a couple in the back of the golf cart, and you can actually autograph it for people at the golf course.
Golf season is coming up. As a matter of fact, it starts, I think, in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We're doing Fridays at lunch. Fridays at 11, I should say. So I can't wait for that. That's going to be amazing. So excited.
I find it a great way to ruin a walk in the woods.
What do you mean?
Golf is a great way to ruin a walk in the countryside.
Yeah. Gotcha.
You golf like I do.
When are you playing golf?
Never. I've tried. It's awful for me. Yeah, I take baseball swings, and the ball literally almost comes right back to me. It's fantastic. I got a nasty hook.
But you just gotta move your hip a little bit.
Yeah, I don't do that. I swing for the fences, and then it's all over.
Nice. Well, I hope this was really helpful. And I mean, these are super easy recipes, and again, it's healthy, it's brain healthy, it's gut healthy. It's great for your hormones. It helps you live longer. Are we ready?
4?
I mean, I don't, how much more time do we have?
You can wrap up whenever you like, or ask, well, we've
Okay.
been bantering back and forth the whole time, so.
Is there any questions? Did anybody write in any questions? Phil, how are we doing with questions?
Well, okay, so I just put that this is a quick and easy way to really make a meal in like less than 15 minutes. It didn't take you long to really make it, and the ingredients are you have a very low amount of ingredients. So I think like for a mom that's just looking to make a quick healthy lunch, this is a great kind of a meal for that, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, especially because, well, you know, some kids don't like cauliflower, but I was one of the kids, I loved almost everything except for string beans. But you can do anything to cauliflower. Some kids don't like red beets, but you know what you can do? You can get the candied walnuts and crunch them up and put them on here. So it makes the beets taste a little different. Or what you could do is you could take the beets and make a dressing out of them with the candied walnuts, so the kids will eat it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right. So
yeah, that's a great idea. That is a great idea. You know,
or you can almost make it like a paste. So I mean, it's kind of I don't know. I love roots. Root vegetables are so good for your body. The stuff that comes from the ground, right? So root vegetables. And then, yeah, you know, it's really easy. And
now you were talking about in your 30-day plan, right? How does that? Do you have these you have some of these recipes in your book, or is it something that you refer?
Oh yeah, so no, this recipe for the cauliflower is in my book. It's on page 135. 135.
So they simply just need to get the book to find the recipe, right?
Yeah, they can find it. Yeah, absolutely. Get the book. There's plenty of recipes. You know, I'll be putting a lot of this stuff up on the 30-day program as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you put it's like it puts everybody on like a dietary plan.
Don't say that word.
Right. Yeah, so it's almost like okay, so when, you know, quarantine happened, so when this whole, you know, pandemic happened, I was talking to so many people, and they were like, Karen, you know, what do I do about all this weight that I gained? And, you know, obviously I can't coach everyone. So I was like, you know, what could I do that I could be of service? So I went back, you know, I just went back to the beginning and thought to myself, you know, what if I just did the 30-day program based on my book? And then that way everyone, you know, can go through the program at their own pace. So these recipes and everything that I'm going to be going through on the program is in my book, but it's more of accountability piece. So it happens in your life, right? So you are accountable for your success and for the results that you get. But I'll be your guide.
Nice.
You know, so I think that it's going to be really helpful for a lot of people. I would just want people to know that I care about them and their health and the health of their families just as much as they do.
The other great thing that you break the myth of it takes too long to prepare food. Now the way you just set it up is you prep the cauliflower, put it in the oven. While that is cooking, now you made your salad. So by the time you preset most of this stuff up anyway, but if you start from scratch to make the salad, by the time the salad is done, the cauliflower is almost ready. So it's not like you put something in there and you wait for a half hour and do nothing. You're doing two things at the same time.
Right.
While one is cooking, one is prepping, and then you put them together at the end.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you can absolutely put your cauliflower on your salad for sure, absolutely. But I also like to cook in big batches. So I'll cook a big batch of brown rice, and I'll use that for the next 3 or 4 days. And brown rice is so great for so many different things because it can help with weight loss. So brown rice, it acts like a little sponge. So what it does is it goes through your intestinal tract and it actually pulls out like heavy metals or toxins, and then you pass them. So, and then you can add whatever vegetables you want to. But also brown rice is, you can add that, I mean, you can make soup. You can, you can make brown rice porridge if you wanted to in the morning for instead of oatmeal. You can make, so many different things with brown rice. Quinoa is the same way. You can add vegetables. And it's one of those carbohydrates that you need for fuel. And it's like, again, it's so easy to make, and you just, keep it in the refrigerator.
One thing I love about your plan, Karen, is that it's natural. It's not forced. It's like I was watching, I was looking at a program the other day, and you guys were talking about the flora that's in your stomach, and it was this powdered drink that they had put together to stimulate the flora in your stomach to help you to lose weight faster, right? And as I heard you guys talking about that, I was like, that's something Karen would be against.
Well, okay, so let me give you a little background on that drink you were talking about. So a lot of that drink is sugar, and also, okay, so it says it's fiber, but are you going to be in your bathroom all day long? I mean, that's really when I hear you say that, I'm like, okay, no wonder they're going to lose weight, because it's going in and out. But I mean, that's not natural. None of it is natural. So yeah, I do everything natural. I grew up on a farm, and growing up on a farm, we had pigs and cows, and we had a huge garden. So picking weeds and pulling snap beans and just cauliflower, broccoli, peppers, tomatoes, like cucumbers, like everything you can think of, we had. So I love doing it the natural way, like the way our body recognizes food.
Wow. I really love what you've pointed out in this program. And I want to just make sure that everybody knows that they can do a one-on-one with you, right? They can do like a consultation with you.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah. Yep. Consultation. Yep. Absolutely.
I mean, how does that work? How did they go about setting that up?
Okay. So you're going to go onto my website and contact me.
Okay.
And then there's also a health history button. If you go to the health history button, fill out the health history, and then it'll go right to my email, and then I'll contact you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. That is KarenMayo.com. You see it on the banner in the front. Feel free to go to her website, check it out. She also has her own channel on Binge Networks .tv, so you can check out some of her programs on there. Very fascinating stuff, and I believe that you will love to see some of the other videos that Karen has available. So check it out today, right now. Don't procrastinate. Karen, it was a great program. Thank you so much for sharing this recipe with us that is in your book. I'm very excited. I'm ready to try it out. And so I thank you again for being on. And we're going to have coming up next is Frank Coppola. Frank Coppola will be next, and he'll be sharing with us how to enhance our customer service skills, our selling skills. So you want to stay tuned for that. And I'm very excited to hear what he has to say as well. So take care, everybody. Thanks again, Karen.
Yeah, and it's not about dieting. It's about living.
Everybody needs a little